That's how it starts.
There it is.
LCD
sound system. Hopefully we don't get flagged for copyright with that electric intro.
All my friends, that's the name of the song. You know it.
Yes. A deeply, deeply sad song if you're really reminiscing about your friends. But also fun, but also good.
Yeah. Well, I would say he's growing up, and the moral of the story is your friends start to fade away, but you're still friends, and it's a new chapter of his life,
Yep.
A
Hardest
realization.
working pianist in the biz. That piano player. Just for 7 straight minutes. Just, I have carpal tunnel just thinking about it. Alex, are you excited? Big week. Big fun week. We're back. A little bit of a different kind of episode because we're a little in between, a little later because of the festivities.
Bring it up. Just talk about it. You've already peeking out the ring there. I already saw it.
Whoa! Got the ring.
That is
the one to rule them all.
For the listener, that is Jake's ring finger. He got married over the weekend. First pod back. That's why we're later to the game here.
If you see me touching my face more, you'll know why.
That's why you're trying to flash some light in my eye with the reflection of your ring. It looks like.
Oh, wow. At work, I had someone. They were similar thing. We had the video chat up, and I was like, if I'm typing slow, you'll know why. If I've got typos, my hand is just too heavy. That was
heavy finger.
That crushes in the workplace. That one crushes in the workplace.
Jake, I have to imagine sometimes, we would kind of bomb sometimes when we did stand up because it was kind of cutesy and kind of like.
I never remember that, but go ahead.
But I'm just saying, when it did go bad, I felt like they were jokes that would have crushed it office humor, and I feel like. I feel like your office humor has to be sharp. It's got to be. Oh yeah. Got any go-tos? Maybe that should be a section. I'm digressing here a bit, but what I'm trying to say is I feel like you have it when it comes to office humor. Is what I was going to say.
I was built for the puns, dad humor.
Yeah,
I'm ready to be a dad. Just strictly off the humor.
You're on your way. You're on your way.
Well, fun. Well. I know for this one, I think we'll dive in. We're a little bit late to the gun on week 5 of the NFL season, but we're still going to go through the pick'ems. We'll hit that. I think we'll be a little bit lighter this week as we lean into the wedding weekend festivities, get a little wacky and wild. Some in-person trade talks were happening during it all. But we'll touch on
that's why you set this date. I see now. You set this date so that you could get everybody from the league together and make some real devious. I would say some devious moves here, and we'll talk about it. But you made some treachery.
Get into it.
Yeah.
We can also dive into a little bit of the Thursday night woes of Philadelphia sports. The Phillies, the Flyers, the Eagles, such an exciting slate, such a disappointing night.
Jake, I didn't have a lick of alcohol, and I have a Philly sports hangover from that day. I feel like I got hit by a bus last night. Why did I stay up watching the Eagles, in MetLife? Dark.
Oh man, that was the first one in a long time. I just was about to just shut off, but I didn't because I'm a sicko.
Yeah.
But we'll get into it later, and then we'll close on a little bit of a little chicken coop action.
Little chicken coop.
Yeah. That's good.
Good team. That's a good team.
It's pretty good.
That's because I was hanging out with my girls. I know my girls. Some of the hens.
If you don't know, Alex is literally in a chicken coop, and I'm excited to chat about it because we've been in the chicken coop before, and I'm excited to talk about it this time. But before that, I'm going to share my screen, Alex, and what do you think your pick'ems record was. Let's do it. Our favorite segment.
Okay. So
now I will say there were bye weeks. There were bye weeks. It's out of 14 this week 5.
Thank you. I did need that clarification. Now I felt like Guns Ablazing, beginner's luck, nailed it week 1. Week 2, come in, not as hot. Week 3, yeesh, not too bad. And now this is reviewing week 4, right? This is reviewing week 4, right? For this one?
This is actually week 5.
Okay,
because
week
do you remember that first week we missed?
Oh, we missed right.
the first.
Okay. Yeah. So this is the 4th one we're doing, week 5.
Yeah.
I just think it's my worst. I
no.
I remember watching some of the games being like, that's not who I picked. Like now because I've never done pick'ems before. So I think I got 5 out of, it was 14. You said 14?
14's a perfect score. Yep, last week with the buys.
I think I got 5. 6. I'll say 6 is my guess. Do you know?
Final, give me a final. Give me a final
6,
answer.
6.
Okay. Are you ready?
No.
Alex?
No. Yes, now I'm ready. I'm ready now.
You nailed it.
I'm not ready.
You
really?
got 6? Well, you can pick your pick'ems pretty well. That's pretty good.
Yeah. I know my ineptitude quite well.
Yeah. I was at an 8, and I'll bring it back up here as it runs away from us. But I was at an 8, which I'm now realizing if I'm above 500, I am thrilled. Yeah, I am now realizing
you should be. That's winning. That's winning. Hashtag Charlie Sheen winning.
Did you see the doc?
Yeah, I did like 2 weeks ago. I did.
Oh yeah, he's doing it again. He's doing the thing again.
Pretty crazy. I'm sober now.
Bring us all back, and then he's gonna crash and burn.
Yeah.
Same, but anyway, story. Oh man, the last Thursday night's game was actually a pretty good one. That was the Battle of California. We had the San Francisco and LA Rams, probably the most popular team since the Raiders left, but that was a pretty good one. 26-23. I think we just got it wrong. Well, I guess against the spread, and the Rams, didn't pull it out. I think that was a masterclass by Shanahan because they didn't have Brock Purdy, they didn't have Kittle,
right?
They didn't have Ricky Pearsall.
I'm in my head, in my mental. I'm just logging this. Mac Jones better than the last time I saw him. He's got a couple bigger sample size, a couple games now, where you're saying to yourself, maybe Mac might be pretty decent. He might be pretty good. At least running a Shanahan offense, you know?
And that was the guy. Do you remember draft day? Like Shanahan wanted to get him, but then Lynch got Trey Lance instead. And he was a huge bust. And it was this whole thing. I can't remember what the order was. But I do think they picked him over or something like that. And so,
I know
kind of full
Saban,
circle. Feels like
Saban really, because he went to Belichick and the Patriots there. And I think Saban was really talking him up as like a good field general, going to run your offense. He's going to do what you tell him. And I feel like that's what Shanahan loves most,
Yep. And I think Shanahan has a more prolific offense than the Patriots. They've always been a defensive team.
Right.
So but that was pretty fun. I feel like the Rams, I'm surprised a little bit because I feel like their defense, I'm really buying in. I like their defense, but that's a surprising outing. I feel like I guess the Shanahan-McVay matchup, they know each other so well. They can kind of get it over on one another a little bit. But it looks like we did get the Minnesota one right.
That's our boy Carson.
Only just.
That's our boy Carson. Huh? That's our boy Carson right there. You know what it is? It's more like Cleveland's defense is good. This one really, I was thinking about this one a lot. I knew it would be a low-scoring game. I actually thought it'd be lower than this, so it's not like I thought 21-17. Cleveland's got a good defense, and Minnesota's kind of banged up. They have Carson Wentz. So I just thought, like, Gabriel coming in, Dylan Gabriel is the new quarterback now for Cleveland. I just thought it would be a wet noodle fight was my thought when I was picking this game. And I just thought Minnesota had a little bit more offensive juice with this was fun. I think I scored in fantasy the highest possible, or I scored and I did it on Carlos, and I was texting him for the Vikings. I have both Addison and Jay Jetta, and so I was texting him, "We're raiding your beaches to start the battle," and the Vikings are coming to pillage, and it was unrelenting. The rest of it, he couldn't talk trash at all because my team walloped him before even his game started, and then he couldn't even get close to my score.
Was that Dublin or was that London? I can't remember now.
They did both. I think this was the London game. Dublin was the week prior. So I've actually done this now to two people. It was first to Rhett, and I got rocked. But then to Carlos, it actually made sense.
Nice. Yeah. I was worried. That was my biggest takeaway, I think, from this game is that Carson Wentz can actually support Addison in fantasy. I was so worried because I had waited all this time for Addison. He comes back, and I'm like, it's going to be Carson. And then now he kind of comes in, he gets that touchdown. It seems like he can feed. And man, dude, I just like, they continue. I always forget his name, but is it O'Connell, the head coach?
Yeah. Yep. Kevin.
He just does it again with these quarterbacks. Just doesn't even matter. I mean, it's like, now it's like Carson Wentz. McCarthy had, I think, an up and down day. So the jury's still out on him. But he made Dobbs look great. Obviously, Darnold was the big one. But I'm really still bullish on Minnesota's ability to be fantasy viable. I was getting some trades in my other league. I have Justin Jefferson and some people. I'm 2-3 in that league, and I lost by 2 points. And we were high scorers. We were like, I don't know, second and third, something like that.
You didn't do any, like we were. Did you do any last minute tinkering? Because when you lose by a point or two, if you tinkered last minute, it'll really give you a gut check. I did that the other day.
The kicker. I subbed out the kicker, and if I had kept him in, I did a streaming, and that was enough. There was like 3 other things, but that's one felt like I change it every week almost for a lot of teams. I changed the kicker, and I'm
sticking with my guy Little, the Jacksonville guy that hit a preseason 72-yarder. Yeah. I hit one kick. This is how silly I think about kicking. He hit one 72-yarder in preseason, and I go, he's locked in all year. He's going to be locked in all year. I'm not even going to look at it anymore. Ranked what? I don't care. He's been pretty good, but yeah.
I could agree with him more. And then the first disappointment of the podcast.
God.
The Philly, first of many.
Denver.
But yeah, the Philly Denver. I mean, honestly, so all of these games, I should preface, we didn't do this to start this like we usually do, but I watched these the day after brunch from the wedding. And we're at the brunch. We got the 10 a.m. slate. I've got the phone on the table. We've got the buffet, and just, of course, everyone and literally our mother came up to me, and I didn't watch any of it. I couldn't.
You can't. It's your wedding. People are there to see you. You have to do hellos,
I put it away.
Goodbyes. You had to.
I put it away. I had it for maybe my first coffee, maybe. And then
Jake,
I was done.
Literally have not heard the end of it for the rest of your life. For the rest of your life, you would not have heard the end of it. For Mom's life, for Lisa's life, you would not have heard the end of it. Fair game.
Luckily,
Carlos had Red Zone going, and I was with some of the boys by coffee. I was trying to bounce around, and it was just hanging by coffee and water, and I was just treating it like a water cooler, just watching some Red Zone, re-upping on some caffeine and water, and kind of banged up from the night before. That's how I was doing it.
Well, that is the saving grace. Everyone's hungover, right? So, no one really cares. They're kind of just in, putting the pieces back together mode. They're just coffee and where's the greasy sausage or eggs or whatever.
Right.
But anyway, I preface that for all the games. I watched a lot of the like recap highlights, that type of thing. Obviously with fantasy, I was able to kind of check in on some people, but I wasn't getting the same kind of like watch every play I usually do type deal. So for Philly Denver, at least on the highlights, it seemed very, I mean, they blew it at the end. And it was just kind of like they were crushing it to start, and this whole narrative of they can't put two halves together, it just continues.
This one more than a lot of the other ones, like all of the games, they've been walking the tightrope and they've been getting away with it, and they've been winning these close games, doing literally the bare minimum on offense. And everyone says the offense looks weird, and it has looked weird, and the defense has kind of been bailing them out. And this one, more than anything, they even had a chance at the end to get a Hail Mary. Like, they never were out of it at any point in this game, and they lost it. It's like they really just let them hang around. They don't have a kill switch this year. They're not like blowing any teams out. They haven't blown out a single team. There's never been one week where I'm like, oh, that felt great. Everybody got fantasy points. Like, the whole offense looked great. We're just going to feel good for this week. Every week has been like a win, and like, oh, we kind of, and this is the first loss. And then now they get the first loss, and then the second loss it feels like it's a snowball coming, and it unfortunately kind of feels like 2023 a little bit, where it's starting to unwind a little bit.
We talked about that a little bit with the pattern of Super Bowl, lose coordinators, promote from within, and then it just feels stale and bland. And that's what happened after the 22 Super Bowl into 23. And then now the 24 Super Bowl coming into 25, lose the coordinator, and feels very bland. I also think the offensive line is banged up. Dickerson isn't playing. We can jump maybe into since we're talking birds, we could jump into the Thursday night game we watched already. But for both of those games, Denver and for the Giants game, the offensive line's banged up. The defense is really banged up now. You lose. There was no Jalen Carter. Again, this is now the second game he hasn't played to start the season. But
divisional game he's missed. Both divisional games.
That's right. So both of them haven't got a chance to see what the game, and it's crazy because you kind of realize how important he is to the defense when you've got Scadaboo just running it up amok. I think Dobbins had a solid game. Harvey had the touchdown.
He did. And, I'd be more excited, but then, then the following week happens, Harvey looked good, I think, the previous week, and then I think he kind of regressed. Yeah, not this week.
The added time is adding to it. But either way, the Eagles defense, I mean, even with Quinyon Mitchell goes out during this game pretty early, and he leaves, and the corners already looked brutal, and then they looked even worse. Like
Healy, Ringo, and Adoree Jackson on the field at the same time is brutal.
Yeah. And even a Bond got juked out there.
The Bond thing, we could just talk about it now because he brought it up. He's in the chicken coop for me. We'll talk about what that means later. He got speared by Cam Scadaboo. He got bowled over, and he got juked out by Dart, like you said. He lost some manhood. Alex, he lost some manhood, I think, on the goal line, and it's you don't recover from that in a week.
No. I wanted to. Well, you know what? Let's actually. You want to dive into the chicken coop really quick? I know this is a bit of a jumble around, but I'd be happy because it kind of goes into your viewing experience. We could talk about the Thursday night madness before we go back to just kind of knock out all the Philly stuff at once.
Yeah, but, because the chicken coop is part of the Philly experience. So I went over to a friend's house to watch what we thought was going to be a lovely Philly sports night. Oh, the Phillies and Dodgers are playing. That's gonna start off at 6 here, and then at 8 o'clock, then the Eagles will start. And I was with Acor and a friend of his, roommate of his. He was superstitious, a little superstitious, and
which one? Both of them, or the other friend?
The friend that I didn't know too well, and we're watching the game, and there's a second TV in the other room, but there's a Prime again. Prime is so frustrating. So we needed to log out of this TV and then log in on the other TV to watch the game so that we could watch both at the same time. But this friend felt the pitching was too good on this TV. He felt this TV, because we were watching on this TV, that's why the pitching was doing well. And we couldn't go away from that. We couldn't go away from that. So I did not watch the beginning of the Eagles game.
Can't move the remotes.
Yep, exactly. And
Silver Linings Playbook, Robert De Niro.
There was one moment where Acor was like, "Are you sure it is?" He goes, "No, we gotta ride it out now. It's the same reason I haven't eaten any of the food that's come yet." It's like there was like pizza and wings and stuff we got.
Oh no.
So I'm with the three of us, right? So we're chatting, and Acor goes, "Hey, do you want to go in the back? He's house sitting for our dear friend Alicia, and her parents have a chicken coop in the back. They have a chicken coop. There's a bunch of chickens, and it's colder now. It's getting a little brisk now on the East Coast. I'd say 50s, almost high 40s now. So it's a nip in the air.
Oh yeah.
And we go out there. Weather. Yep. Oh, I just went for a run in a hoodie. Haven't done that in years, but
whoa.
In the back, we go say hi to the chickens because it's like in between, like the game hadn't started. It's like in between innings or something. Saying hi to all the girls. They're all nestled up there in the back because they're trying to stay warm. So all the girls, all the chickens are trying to stay warm together. And we come in there, and I realize I'm coming in guns a-blazing, excited to see some chickens. Got a little flashlight. And I realized I look like an ice guy coming in. I got the flashlight in their face, and I don't want to be raiding anybody. So I just said, "Sorry, girl. Sorry. Hey, how are you?" And put a flashlight down at a lower level, not at them. But they were all on like a perch, all together, just nuzzled up, trying to stay warm. And anyway, I thought it was a perfect depiction for what Philly sports looked like last night. Just a bunch of chickens, nuzzled up together, trying to brace for the cold, cold winter. And so that's why I thought this would be a good bit for or a good segment here, is we're going to pick some Philly athletes that we felt like belong in the chicken coop. They belong in the chicken coop with the girls,
I love it. So we had Bond. Yeah, I think, you know what it is? There's a little bit of a through line coming that I'm putting together, which is just like the team just seems so tired and there's no energy. And I didn't realize it as starkly as the rookies of Scadaboo and Dart, who just like, they don't know what they don't know, and they just have so much energy for a week 6 game. And the Eagles they're getting everybody's best as defending champs. They're exhausted. They know the marathon that it is, and they're just like, and we kept saying it this whole time leading up, like this whole season so far, is it feels like they're doing the minimum amount to win. And that's why you haven't seen any halves together, because it's like, all right, do we do enough? Okay, great. Let's just kill the clock. And then it's like they just let the team back in with Denver, and even before that, you never get a good half because it's just like, I think we did enough, or fuck, we didn't do enough. We got to come out this second half, come back, win against the Rams, and do that type of thing. But it was so evident again where it was just like the Giants had so much juice. They're at home, and I don't know. There's something to not peaking too early. So the optimist could be like, I mean, the Eagles were 2-2. Sirianni shaved his head this time last year. So, we're due for a buzz cut, and we could kind of get it right in the ship. But, man, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good at all.
I couldn't agree more that it felt like New York's Super Bowl last night. Like they were playing like it was their Super Bowl. Scadaboo. Dart is throwing his head at people. Did you see what happened?
Yeah.
Did you see the story that came out today of how they
When he went
handled
down?
concussion protocol? The league is investigating how they threw him back into the game when for concussion protocol, I think Dable put some real pressure on the staff to get him back out there. And I just think this is going to be a problem, not only for they've been in and out of the tent, I guess, a lot. What I learned from the broadcast, a lot this year, and we're only in week 5. Speaking of, it's not like a short race; it's a marathon. The Eagles look like they're running a marathon slowly and methodically, and they look like they were sprinting directly at their face. They were doing sprints and shot put. And they were doing like a triathlon. They were like fully exerting all energy every single play, no regard for their bodies. And there was a lot of injuries last night. A fair amount of injuries.
It is interesting because I think Hurts he got he left last year for that Luvu hit Commanders last year, and he wasn't able to come back, and he wanted to, and it was kind of similar thing, but different outcome. I feel like for this one, I mean, who knows? It seemed like a leg thing at one point when he was down on the ground. I know that was going on. And he was moving his leg or whatever. Thought it might have been a bigger injury, but yeah. Oh my gosh, it just seemed like I think the corners they just looked bad, and then who knows? You know what I'm hoping? You know what I'm praying is around this time last year. Sirianni shaves his head. We get the bye week 5, I think, and then Cooper DeJean goes into the slot, and it felt like it fixed a lot of things. Would love like a Mac McWilliams or like some kind of shift, some kind of lineup change that feels like it just kind of clicks things in. A healthy Jalen Carter would be. And Dean, did you notice Dean? He came back this game. I didn't see him.
I didn't see him at all. I wouldn't put him in the Coop. Didn't even notice him out there. Did he play?
Yeah.
I don't know if he played because I saw a lot of Campbell and I saw a lot of Bond. I put Bond in the Coop mainly because of what we talked about. He got emasculated by Scadaboo, which, for us as ASU fans, brutal. That's like our Saquon, kind of, going to a rival team. He's like our Saquon, just destroying us now, destroying our hearts. I put Keeler Ringo in the chicken coop because did you see this? Oh gosh, he got bodied by a 6'4" wide receiver. I should know his
Little
name.
Jordan Humphrey.
Thank you. Thank you. Little Jordan Humphrey. Thank you. That's right.
A couple times.
I know
a couple times.
And I'm like, Keely, that's the one that you're 6'2". That's like, I'll be okay. I've defended him saying, like, yeah, he's not as quick because, it takes a little bit because he's a little bit bigger. That being the advantage is that he can break up those high point balls against the taller receivers. Didn't do it. He's in position. He just gets bodied and mossed. And so he's just in the coop for me. He's in the chicken coop.
You know who he reminds me of so much is another Eagle, tall guy. We got him young. He had up and down. He flashed, but he wasn't always there. He leaves the team, becomes...
Can I say it? I know it.
Yeah.
Rasul Douglas?
Yes.
Yeah.
Doesn't he feel like Rasul Douglas, where it's like he's young, he figures it out with Philly, and then he leaves and goes into a better scheme, which we talked about before, which is he can just be in zone and just do that classic. Like, he would be perfect next to Richard Sherman. Cover 3, Legion
coming
of Boom.
Coming downhill and hitting people.
Or just backpedaling, eyes on the ball, making a break, using the frame. But that's not what they do. And just crossing routes. Whenever he's trying to chase people down, it seems like he doesn't have the ball skill. He's an athlete, and I do think he'll eventually put it together, but I think it's going to be for a different team. I was buying Ringo stock. I still believe in him as a player. I just don't know if the team, the organization is going to give him that second contract, because he's on the rookie deal, and I just don't know the way he's played, if he will. I still think he'll Rasul Douglas it. He'll be a starter, and he'll have like a 10-year career, but I just don't know. if they're going to give him a contract for it.
They'd have to pay this chicken in just a little bit of chicken feeds for him to make it correct for the organization. Peanuts is what I'm saying. They have to give him peanuts for him to stay on the team. Is a low contract for that second contract.
And you had a couple other guys here too.
I was just going to say,
a little sad.
It hurts me for these two. These two I love, and it's just for the week here. They could be out of the coop soon. Yeah. But Jalix Hunt. Look, Nolan Smith is gone. Jalen Carter's gone. We need some edge rushing. We need some sort of edge rush.
Pass
rush. And also, did you see him drop the pick too? He dropped the pick.
First draw. It would have really set the tone. And then Dart really settled in after that. He really settled in.
That would have been really taken out the air, I think, for Dart a little bit. So that was a bummer. He's in the chicken coop because he dropped a pick, and I just felt like they just got bullied on the line, and that's the same reason why this guy's on here. Jordan Davis, you got to step up and be the guy if Jalen Carter's gone. And we got run over, and I watched I'm a sicko. Like I said, missed the first half because there was a superstitious friend watching the Phillies fall apart and collapse. So then I watched the second half. So I watched all the bad parts. So I missed the first half. So that's why today I might have put on the first half just to get caught up on what happened.
Sure.
And I could kind of
condensed version.
Well, it's Prime, so I could like skip through the commercials, but I still had to skip through it. They didn't do it for me. But I saw Jordan Davis
on Sunday Ticket. You've got Sunday Ticket, right?
But it was a Prime game. It's a Prime game, is what I'm saying. It didn't include the Prime game. Amazon Prime is a separate entity, not included in Sunday Ticket. They're all bastards, and they want as much money as they want. They could possibly get you.
But they don't do the replays for it, then? I guess. That's brutal.
No, they had.
I didn't realize that.
I did a free membership for Prime, so I got 14 days. I got to remember to cancel that.
Yeah. There you go.
But I watched it, and Jordan Davis. The reason Jackson Dart's running around is Jordan Davis is not getting any push up the line. And he's not getting a run stop. He's not. More Ajoma.
You know what I didn't like? Did you see during the broadcast? I can't remember when it happened. They cut to Jordan Davis. They're getting to their huddles, and he's just kind of shooting the shit with Dart and with
giving some props. He's giving props with Scatterboo too.
It's just, dude. Like
I honestly, I looked to Alex.
Such a bad mentality.
I looked to Alex Corey, and I said he better be spitting on him. He better be spitting on him. Yeah. It's better. Don't get kicked out of the game, but
he's
big
not
friendly
wired
giant.
to be like the mean intimidator.
He's just a big friendly giant.
He's a nice guy. He's a nice guy, and it makes me love Jordan Davis as a person more, but as a player, I'm just like, buddy, you gotta flip the switch.
You gotta get angry. Yeah. Dodgeball.
Yeah. The rec specs.
Yeah. You gotta get angry.
Oh my God! Now we can dip a little bit into the Phillies because we could just finish out
this one is so hurtful. We're gonna remember Kirkering's. He's a 23-year-old kid. We got to remember this, okay? Before I drag him through the mud, this guy at 21 years old. I was thinking about this for the podcast. I was like, how do I phrase it? It is both the gift and the curse of being so talented. Is that he's got the stuff, he can throw it really fast, and he's got a good cutter. And so it got him into the show too early. 21,
right?
2 years ago, he got thrown in and he blew it. And his MO now is if there are runners on, he's going to freak out. And that happened 2 years ago. For it to happen like this, the guy I was sitting with who was superstitious was saying this, not Kirkering. There's guys on. We can't walk Ohtani. And you know what is frustrating for all of this as well, before I dive into Kirkering, I want to give some context here. The umpire apologized for the pitch that should have struck out the guy that was then walked home in the 7th inning by Duran. So that just means we could have won 1-0. We could have won 1-0. We shouldn't have been in the 11th. Yeah. The pitching was so good. None of this happens. That's why in the coop, I got anybody holding a bat with a Phillies uniform on is in the coop. They're all a bunch of cowards.
Yeah.
And none of them showed up when it mattered. So before we destroy Kerkering, that all led to Kerkering being in a position where he's 23. He already has a history of kind of shitting his pants when the lights are bright. And the image, I think Neil sent it in our chat, the image of Real Muto, the catcher, pointing to first base. Don't throw it to me. Throw it to first base. He picks it up. He pees down his leg, and then he throws it. He throws it. Not only does he throw it home, he throws it completely wide. He throws it wide. Muto's like, I got to try to catch this ridiculous throw, this bad decision, and a bad execution of it. Yeah. It is like Buckner, like Buckner through the legs. I think that's an old Red Sox highlight in like the 70s where they blew
Speaking of which, Bohm had a little Buckner moment as well.
He did.
Bohm.
Yeah. He's got a lot of lead in his he's got a lot of lead in his pants, and so it's tough for him to bend over. He's 6'5", and so when you get him bended over like that trying to get a grounder, sometimes he's not as coordinated as you hope, but he can climb the ladder. That's the opposite side of that.
He had a fun ladder climb.
Yep. So that led to pants.
The good and the bad. The good and the bad. You couldn't get down the dirt as easy, but man,
but
there's a couple of
he did have good at bats. Bohm actually showed up.
He walked quite a few times.
Yeah, he had good at bats.
Because I think they wanted to get to Marsh. I will never trust Marsh, I don't think.
I was yelling. We were yelling at the TV here. Bader goes out. That's the big thing. Bader was a godsend for the team at the trade deadline.
Yeah.
And then Trey Turner went out, and he was injured for the end of the year. And so I think what was really funky monkey for this team was that Bader was the leadoff hitter, and he had so much juice, so much charisma. You saw it in his one at bat. He took 12 foul balls or something. The guy's fighting,
battling
every pitch. What if we got that 3 or 4 times every game? If he played, I just feel like he would have worked up the starter's pitch count, and it would have been a different series. Him getting injured, and then Trey Turner working his way back into the lineup. That's what
He was solid for the series. It felt like. I don't remember. I didn't catch the first. I missed some of the games. The
Trey
earlier
hit
games.
Well, yeah. Trey hit well, but I just think, like going to what you initially brought up is Marsh. It put the lineup. It bumped up Marsh in the lineup where they could just easily get around Harper, and he wasn't protected anymore.
Yeah.
And Marsh should have been at the bottom of the lineup, rather like Castellanos or even like Real Muto.
Casti had a really clutch play. Both Marsh and Casti, I was like, I don't trust either of them. And Casti really came up big, and Marsh, oh boy, I just do not trust him. There was an at bat where you could just tell he was rattled. He did not know what pitch was coming, and the pitcher just had him on a rope. He just was like playing him like a fiddle.
Yeah.
And I don't even really watch baseball that much, but I could tell, like, just looking at that at bat, being like, oh, this guy.
How about when he got the pitch clock violation? Marsh did. Because he was looking at Bohm putting on his glove, I guess, is what he said. But you're just get in the box and just be ready. Even getting in the box, he seemed like he wasn't ready. And so that was frustrating, because it's like, okay, one strike immediately, blows by another strike. He goes, all right, now I'm starting. And then he watches one go by. That's the only pitch that's been thrown, but it's already 2-0 or 0-2. And then he tries to swing, because when you got 2 strikes on you, that's baseball, is when there's 2 strikes, the hitter has to defend the strike zone. That's the whole fun of the game. Is like, he's locked and loaded, and you got to look at it. He had no eyes for if it was out or not, and literally the first junk ball he throws him, he swings at and misses. Yeah, it was bad. Yeah, Marsh.
It was tough to watch.
He's in the chicken coop.
I was ready for Bader on that pinch hit to just crush one.
I know.
I had the master Bader text ready and locked. I typed it out. I typed it out. I had the feature on iPhone where it blows up big, and I was ready to hit send.
Yeah.
I wanted to be the first one because I thought it was destiny for that guy to. He looked ready to roll, but
he tore his tape.
So fun little aside. I see on Instagram that Ludwig went to the game. And he put it on his story. He was like right down the third base line. And he has the footage of like right after that debacle of the end of the game. And I just commented like so brutal. And he was like, dude, that guy's going to think about that for the rest of his life. And I was like, I messaged back and I go, don't worry. I'm sure the Philly fans will be forgiving and supportive.
And reasonable. Yeah.
And reasonable about this. This will be fine.
Acor immediately goes to, immediately that happens, the other friend goes, all right, I'm going to get out of here. It makes a really off-color joke I can't repeat. And then Acor, we're sitting down and they're just showing the replay. They're just showing the replay from every different angle. And we're like, and Acor turns to me and he goes, I don't want to say death threats. I'm not going to say death threats, but he might get death threats. It was like, oh no.
Poor guy.
Like this poor, again, he's 23 years old. The gift and the curse of having so much talent and being so young.
I was making some jokes between, and then the Flyers lost as well. Not that we're big hockey guys, but just the cherry on top, really, the whole thing. And
Jake, don't worry, the Sixers start soon.
Well, you're getting ahead of my two jokes.
Sorry.
My two jokes that I've been in group chats, because everyone knows I'm a Philly fan. So there's been a couple of things. And so for Ludwig, I said on your next stream, if you're looking for a charity, I think the Philadelphia Fire Department would be a good one. I think they're going to need all the support they can get tonight and tomorrow. And then, the other thing was someone was just like, well, at least we have, and then like the asterisk checks notes Sixers. Oh, yikes.
Oh man, I remember like last year this time, like Eagles were kind of tumultuous, but there was this like we were in a good series with the Mets, and like there was optimism for like the Sixers. We just got Paul George. What is that going to look like this year? It's like, play the games, guys. Just roll the ball out there. Whatever. We don't care. I'm here for the halftime show where the guy stands up on a ladder. He's like a 60-year-old man who's a trapezist who clearly got a good side gig at a halftime of the Sixers, and he can balance like 10 chairs, and he climbs them all and puts them up. That's my viewing experience. That's why I'll watch the games. I don't know about you.
Well, hey,
that's why I'm going to watch the games.
This will be some cheap tickets too. You could make it to some games. You could make it to some games. Light traffic. Really fun family experience if you want to get into it.
You just brought up a whole nother thing. I was so disappointed in myself that I didn't make it to a Phillies game. And now the way the season ended, I'm very happy I didn't. I'm like bullet dodged, because I would have remembered that game, or maybe even keep the ticket and been like, this was the year they won. And then for that to happen, I would have just spit on the ticket, thrown it out, and bought a cheesesteak or something.
I went to the one Phillies when they came to LA for the end of the regular season, and I went to their one loss because Schwarber hit his like 50th the game before, or two games before, and it was electric. And then man, how about Schwarber too in this game, where man, this series, I should say, the game before when we
The game
actually
before
won,
he showed up.
that
He did show up in that one.
monster home run. The monster home run was incredible.
But I don't want to get too deep into like Phillies futures, but the core is old, and Schwarber, you brought up Schwarber. He's going to be a free agent.
Too.
Expensive free agent. He's already 33, I think. So you're like, if he wants a 5-year deal, that's really tough. They already paid Nola, so they can't pay Ranger. We're going to lose Ranger Suarez. We're going to lose probably Bader, and we're going to lose, who's the other one? Castellanos, but kind of good a little bit. Kepler also. The outfield was just not good this year. Besides Bader also will probably decline. It's a mutual option, so and he'll probably decline that and get as much money as possible. So it'll probably be a very different looking team, and that's just if they try to keep as much of the core together as they can too. So if they decide to blow it up, it could look really different too.
And now that it's like a first round exit too, they might be more likely to do that than if they had made a run or whatever. It's a bummer because you've got Harper, Schwarber, so likable. I feel like Turner seems like so optimistic when he came in, and I don't know. He's had kind of an up and down Phillies career.
He did win the batting title. It's like empty calories, but he won the batting title this year. So he batted 300, so he had the best average in the NL.
Oh, so there you go. That's pretty awesome.
But it's like he quietly did it. It's like kind of empty calories. It feels like fantasy, where it's like an older stat. It it's good, but not great. I guess it means less than I think it used to. But
plus he was hurt for some of the year,
right?
So it's not the whole thing. But okay, oh man. Well, I think we did a lot of Phillies. I'm happy we did because. I mean, that's the end of the year, man.
Last of the Phillies we're going to talk about before spring training. And then are you ready for, this is the only optimism we can leave it on this, is Painter, the AAA guys, the minor league guys coming up. Crawford might come up, center fielder. So
Alex, look at you.
We'll see.
Okay. Well, that feels good. I feel good. That feels good. If you actually I'll bring
you all together because Jake, we have a farm system, and you know what? When you put some chickens in the coop, when you put some chickens in the coop, you got to use the rest of your farm system. You
really do. I love it. So we had some chickens. There has been a couple of people and some chickens in my fantasy team as well that I'd like to probably nominate. There's been a few. I think T. Higgins is the leading candidate, and I get it. Burrow goes down. Browning is terrible, and they bring in Flacco, and I'm just thinking to myself, I should probably trade him before Flacco actually has to play like a full season here. There might be a game or two, and I'm praying that happens, and I could trade high. But it's funny. Early in the season, maybe week 1 or 2, Jared Rosen came to me and said, do you want to trade T. Higgins? It was right after the Burrow injury. T. Higgins for Michael Pittman. And I said, that is disrespectful.
No.
I told him, I said, that is disrespectful because Danny Dimes wasn't really doing anything. He hadn't really become Indiana Jones yet.
Right. And you're thinking that's a mirage. Yeah.
I'm thinking at some point Anthony Richardson's going to come in. It's going to be brutal. But I'm looking back on that one going, that's a tough look. It's a real tough look.
You and I this year have been really chasing shadows, huh? We've been really chasing some shadows.
We are a step behind, my friend.
I can talk about my move here that I just got. I feel like it's so frustrating. This is our first year with the LA guys, and I feel like they look at me like a dumbass. I've never played fantasy before because I dropped Jared Goff, and then Jared picks him up. He gets 40 the next week. I still think that was a good move, but the 40 hurts long term. long term, and I was committed to Love. Then this week is the other one where Wan'Dale Robinson has been blah blah blah. Who cares? I'm like, what's this Dart thing going to do? And Jameson Williams is just sitting in free agency, and I'm like, okay,
Alex,
I'll take Jameson Williams for Wan'Dale. I think I beat your bid by like 5 or something.
I was gonna say that. I didn't know you could see.
Oh, I love that they show you. That's cool. Yeah.
I know. I was like, oh, I have to bid on this. And no, I think Nick is just the only reason he mentioned it is because he's having the remorse that like you, me, Casey, everyone is jumping on him in free agency, and Nick is like, oh fuck, I had a bad move. And also, Nick is just such a stickler for rules. I mean, he's a lawyer, so that's what he does all day, every day.
I really like it. I've never had a friend like this, such a stickler for rules, and I quite like it. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I
like it, especially in a group setting. If it's one-on-one or something, it can be a bit intense at times.
Sure,
but,
maybe too much. Yeah.
But in a group setting, when there's other people and like, I think I put it in the group, but it processed after the game.
That's right.
Which was the crazy thing, which is why he was. And I do think that's also kind of weird that it would wait until after the game.
I was confused by it too. I thought it wouldn't process until all of the weeks were over. Like I put that in on Tuesday, like as early as I could. And then it waited until after their game was done. And so that kind of confused the heck out of me where I was like, why did I get him now? I was also confused, and I was the one that got the transaction to me. So I totally get Nick being confused.
But I think it's always 2 days or something. It's always like a 2-day holding period that people, like if the player's dropped, you have 2 days before someone else can pick it up. And it just so happened there's a Thursday game. But I'm just surprised that it lets you drop someone while they were like they had played. But I get it. If you already made the transaction before the game and you weren't playing them.
Right.
But now it would have been crazy if he was in your lineup, though. I guess that would have
been weird. Yeah, that would have been. It probably would have nullified it. Yeah, it would have nullified it.
Yeah. I think it would have nullified it.
I think I might have seen that too, because I think there's another. Well, I don't want to give away my secrets here, but there's another move after that. I thought, oh, I could be creative with this here a little bit. So I'm making another move now in wake of that move. So
I think I know. I think I know who it is. Do we?
No, you don't.
Is it an injured player?
You have no idea where I'm at, Jake. You thought I was in the East, Alex. Now I'm in the West. You thought I was in the East, now I'm in the West. Am I in the Midwest now? You have no idea where I am, Jake.
Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Where is Alec Yardley? Where are they both?
I don't know.
I think I know what it is. I think I also am chasing the same thing. And if I get beat twice by you on this stupid free agent bidding, I'm going to be livid.
This is my first experience. Like this is both of our first experiences with the auction, right? You've never done it before?
I've done it once.
You did?
I've done it. I've done it once, but I wasn't. It was a league that I wasn't chatting with people, and so it's much more fun to kind of know everyone and feel like more involved instead of just like throwing out random.
I got
numbers.
bid. Who was it? I think it was Haskins in this league. Where did you snipe Haskins from me? In which league was that? Do you remember? Was that
every league I could get?
No. I didn't get the consolation prize. I got Vital, the backup.
Yeah,
the backup.
Yeah, so the Chargers. So it is funny because we did talk about this so much, where you were like, "My rookies are coming to play," and Hampton was just the crown jewel, and the poor guy
I thought was going to win me the league. Last podcast, you guys probably, if you're binging this show, you're probably like, are they going to talk about the Hampton thing? Yeah, we could talk about the Hampton thing. I just lost him for 4 weeks, and that's it. That's a best case scenario. And then Jake snags the backup from me. I'm caught with my pants on the ground. I got caught with my pants on the ground. I'm bummed about it, and Harvey hasn't panned out, and I'm still scrapping at 2 and 3. I'm still punching.
Alex,
my whole bench is injured or on bye.
You know what it's like? You know what it's like is we're both drowning, right? And we're just gasping. There's no sense of gentlemanly
No.
type of conduct going on.
Yep.
It is just us thrashing around, and the second I see what could be a lifeline and just a raft, I am grabbing it.
Yeah.
I am
No,
grabbing it.
You stepped on my face and you grabbed it. Yeah.
Putting him in the flex.
Yeah.
No, that was
Jake. The fog of war is so thick right now. Are they bayonets? Are they bullets coming at me? You're just trying to survive out there. You know.
Yeah, it is funny. I think the difference in fantasy football, I'm remembering now that we're in the heat of the season, is the difference when you're winning versus the difference when you're losing is when you're winning, you make very minimal moves and you're just kind of little margins and you're just kind of tinkering. But for the most part, it's pretty cool, calm, collect. There's not a lot of injuries most of the time.
Okay, just a bye week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a little bit of this, but when you're losing, you're dumping good players. You're thinking, you're just galaxy braining. You're like, I am gonna get the next Alvin Kamara in this player. He's gonna be pass catching, and you're
Jake,
just wishing things happen.
You're on the poop deck. You're on the poop deck of a boat that is taking on a lot of water. You just have a small little bucket, and you're just throwing water over the side, trying to not sink. You're trying.
And you're making trades for injured players that think it. Oh, it's just. I mean, the Lamar Jackson thing will haunt me. It feels almost as bad as Tom Brady.
He'll come back.
But
he'll come back, Jake. He'll come back,
Yeah.
and the season will be lost for the Ravens. And the fantasy, no, Jake, the fantasy garbage that he will get. He will be Oscar the Grouch. He will be living in the garbage.
Yeah,
he will absolutely win you the league if you can make it to the end. If you can get to the end, you might. Have a chance.
Won't though, Alex. I am. So you're asking me about Haskins, Alex. I am 0-5.
Oh my god!
And the chance, the way the league is set up, where it's like divisions,
I hate it.
Like I hate it because now I'm in a good division and I have no shot of making it. It's very top heavy. They have to lose out. I have to win out, and it's so we'll see. Yeah, like now I'm just praying for a couple of high week scores that I get at the end of the season. And then hopefully I don't finish last place. It's me and Parker. Me and Parker are just,
we're going at it.
So,
right?
Yeah, we're just racing to like not lose it all. And
but dude,
I'm praying
I'm looking
I can
at your roster right now. I'm looking at your roster right now.
Give it a look. Did you see that little? Did you see my? You're my boy Blue. Did you see a little pickup I got there? That was
Jaden. Yeah, you think Jaden Blue might be the guy? He might come in.
Miles Sanders is out. He is hurt.
Kendry Miller, another one. Kendry Miller is another life raft you've deployed, I see.
He's going to be Kamara.
But, Jake, you have Bijan Robinson and Derrick Henry. You have Devontae Adams. You've got Teteroa McMillan.
He's going to be a monster this week, by the way.
And
Absolute
against Dallas.
Monster.
Yeah, against Dallas. And then hopefully if Lamar comes back, like you said, top-heavy team that
we're like the Phillies. I'm like the Phillies. I've got a really good top of the lineup, and then I got a lot of marshes.
And the top, marshes. Yeah, a lot of coops, a lot of chicken coops.
Yeah.
Haskins, again, you stole from the clutches of my hands.
Sure did.
And it was despicable and disgusting what you did, and it's absolute treachery after I went on and on, droned on and on.
We're 0-5, Alex. We're 0-5.
Fog of war. Fog of war. You didn't see me.
Of war. We're drowning. We're
then why did you twist the bayonet, Jake? Why did you twist it? In my guts.
Why? Because I'm bleeding out and I can't see 3 feet in front of my face is why.
Can you tell that I watched a World War II movie with Dad recently? That my reference is
it makes far more sense. Yeah, you're really hanging on the fog of war now.
I am.
A little bit longer, touch longer than I would have thought.
The imagery is still stained in my brain, but
I love it.
You know what's not stained is our pick'ems, Jake. That's where we have A little bit. We have a little bit of faith. We have a little bit of faith. We're back.
And we're
back to the pick'ems. We're steered off of we kind of went Philly, Philly.
We dove into Philly. We jumped around. Yeah.
But now we're back.
We did jump around and
we're back here. Back home. We're back home.
We're back. We did the Philly thing. We understand that. The fantasy, we kind of dove in. Dallas, again, I think my guy Blue, my boy Blue, I'm ready for that. That GIF is locked and loaded for when he goes off. Not this week, but next week. Javonte Williams, how long can this last? That's what I said about Mostert, and I traded him the year he led the league in touchdowns. But I'm realizing about
glad
myself,
you didn't hold
Alex,
on to that.
I'm realizing that in terms of like stocks, I'm a bear. I'm a bear market guy. I'm not a bull. I don't ride with the bulls.
Can we clip that? I'd like a clip of that. I'm a bear.
I slumber and I wait, and then I pounce on people that no one's valuing this person. There's no value. People are chasing the touchdowns.
Upside.
Ugh.
It's all upside.
That
baby.
won't last forever. I'm the Debbie Downer. And so I'm really fingers crossed Javonte Williams. And
I'm with you this year of fantasy. I've never rooted for injuries more to starting running backs than this year. I have a lot of backup running backs that I'm like, it's just a matter of time before the starter gets hurt. I'm just like, just play a game at MetLife. Just play a game at MetLife. Get injured.
Well, it's funny. I realized, I guess, kind of counter to what I'm saying. My team is so bad that I have, I could get Algier to back up Bijan, but in my mind, I'm saying, Jake, you're welcoming in an outcome that I don't want. So if look, it's all or nothing. I am chasing upside. I'm chasing upside. So Andrew just picked up Algier. He's probably a great pickup and worth more than some of the other people. And I've probably just jinxed Bijan to an injury as well. But that's par for the course of my team. Joe Burrow,
no, but
Lamar
now you're
Jackson,
reverse jinxing him right now. I see what you're doing. You're reverse jinxing him right now, which is smart. It's smart.
It doesn't. I'm past hope. But Dallas, I don't know. The Jets, I think Fields is a little squirrely. Quietly, Garrett Wilson is he's a top 5 guy.
I wish I had remembered that Justin Fields and him went to college together before the fantasy season started. I wish I remembered that.
I know.
And I knew that ahead of time.
I think week 1, when they both erupted, I think we both,
looked at
in
each
our
other
head and we went, oh, that's right.
They have chemistry. Shoot.
Yeah.
Forgot.
And Garrett Wilson, you know what the other thing is? With Igbuka being just crazy as well, Ohio State receivers are just good.
Yeah.
Marvin Harrison is finally starting to pick it up.
Yeah.
But man, they don't miss with those guys. The route running technician guy from Ohio State, that's the guy I want. I think that guy is going to be great every time.
That's who you're looking for now in future drafts. I think Olave, was he one of those guys too? Was Olave Ohio State?
Yep, exactly. Which is the same exact guy as Garrett Wilson to me. Shitty offenses, bad quarterbacks, but they just get all these catches.
Volume.
Yeah. And they just get open and they just, they make it work.
It looks like you got that with Tetaroa. He's in the Carolina. They won, it looks like, against Miami. You picked that one. Which
the Tet?
Kudos. Yeah, the Tet. You picked the Tet in the McMills.
Yeah,
that was a tough one.
I just think Miami looks so bad, and I think Carolina is severely underrated.
Yeah.
They're going to get Coker back to the receiving core, who was quietly very.
Do you think he's a difference maker? Do you think he's a difference maker, this Coker?
Well, they also don't have Hubbard. He's hurt again this week. So I just think they're a better team than what they're showing.
Yeah.
And also there are a lot of young guys. Like, they traded McCaffrey, they traded Burns, they got rid of everyone, and it just takes a while for those draft picks to get drafted, 1, and then 2, develop. And so, like, I don't know. I think they're just at like a part of their rebuild where they're finally starting to hit a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Bryce Young's in year, what is this, 3 now? Is this his
Is it?
third year now?
I thought it was
I think.
second.
I
Well,
think it's his
I thought it was the
I think
second
it's
year.
his
Maybe I'm wrong.
third. But
It's looked
I
bad.
mean, he's looked
Previous
really
years.
bad, but the offensive line looked really bad. I think the offensive line is improved.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Horn on the corner for them is really, really solid. I think he's a
JC
legit player.
JC
Yep.
Horn.
I think they quietly have a decent defense. But anyway, it was less of a Carolina pick than it was. I think Miami. What I hope, hey, I don't know if you've heard these rumors. I hope McDaniel gets fired and the Eagles pick him up as OC.
I saw this. You sent this in one of the groups, and you were
Yeah.
right. I'm going to just repeat what you said in the group. One of the snarkiest little coaching staffs, if we got McDaniel being sarcastic to the Philly media, I just feel like he would be
with Sirianni, the
and
smuggest.
Vic. And Vic Fangio, the three of them.
It would be. It would be
media.
Like
The local media in Philly
They would absolutely hate
already are just a bunch of piranhas. They're a bunch of crabs grabbing the other crabs to the top of the barrel, trying to bring them down. And
into the boiling pot.
They would just be like, so what? Why were you so bad in Miami? Why isn't it that you don't have the cojones to be a head coach? It just would be like just derivative bullocks.
Do you think your pretentious attitude attributed to your losing in Miami?
Yeah, well, you got to win the game to win the game. That was a quote of his, I think, a couple weeks ago. We can't confirm or deny that he's back on the juice or not, but he might have fallen off the wagon. We're not sure.
Who's that? McDaniel?
Oh, McDaniel. He was sober. I don't. Yeah, he's attributed a lot of his success to being sober because he was drunk in the beginning of his career and yada yada. But you know who was not drunk was the New Orleans Saints last week when they they popped open a Coker themselves and they drank it and they beat the Giants. I thought the Giants would win this one and lose to the Eagles. What is happening? Yeah. What topsy-turvy league are we living in where New Orleans beats the Giants by so much and then the Giants beat the Eagles? I don't know football.
And what's crazy too is like the Saints defense looked like this like crazy, 85 Bears. They held them to 14, whatever, and it was just like it felt like they were getting after him as well. And then, man, like they had 26. It's just, it is. It's very brutal, very brutal to see that. Also, I mean, I don't know. What do you think of Rattler? Is Rattler a guy?
I don't like him.
Is he gonna
I don't like him ever since I saw a video. This is probably too much judgment for one thing, but it's a video of him in high school talking a lot of shit, like a little prick. He was just a little prick talking to these other quarterbacks. Hated the guy, and I just don't root for him. But if he was a good guy, I would love cheering for a guy whose last name is Rattler. I would love a guy who's Rattler, like Jake Plummer, running PA boots and go, Rattler, come on, Rattler. Like, I would love to be there, but I saw that one video, and I just don't like the guy. I don't like the guy, so I root for his demise, and I want Shuck in there. That's what I want in New Orleans.
I do like I got Miller. You saw that, the backup running back.
Kendrick,
I'm rooting for I'm rooting for
good.
him to kind of
Yeah,
he had some moments. I hope he breaks out a little bit. And then their tight end, Juwan Johnson, feels like he's kind of like a wild card they've got. We'll see. And then, man, I feel like now are the Colts for real or are they the Saints from last year? Like, are they for
but the
real?
Saints was only 2 weeks. Remember, Saints was only 2 weeks when we thought they were Super Bowl, and then Derek Carr.
This is becoming a big trend at this point. They're like the best in the league,
dude. Jonathan Taylor,
and the offensive line. Yep.
Quentin Nelson obviously is an amazing left guard, one of the best in the league. Braden Smith as well, their right tackle, is a very good cornerstone. Mm-hmm. That's two, like, I would almost put those guys top 5 in their position on the offensive line.
Pittman is a good blocking receiver as well.
What's the phrase we love to say? Not wrong, just early. I thought Pittman the last 2 years was going to be doing this. I love him.
You know what's funny?
In Madden, he's great in Madden. So I'm like, that's my guy.
I thought the same thing about Jonathan Taylor with Anthony Richardson. I was like, oh my gosh, it's like this is, Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson last year. Like the read option is going to keep defenses honest, and Taylor is going to be insane.
Yeah,
and it just never happened. And I wasn't in a position to pick Taylor in some of the drafts, like the way the number pick that I had, but I was a pick. He went a pick before me. And I saw it recently, and I looked back because when you're 0-5, you really start to look back at what went wrong.
Don't do it. Don't do it. It's poison, Jake. It's poison.
I went back to the draft.
No, you don't do it at the end of the year. You got to do it at the end of the year. You can do it now.
I picked it. Jonathan Taylor goes, and I would have picked him, but I thought I was lucky, and I was like, "There's two guys I want, Chase Brown as well." And I now have Chase Brown instead of Taylor. Anyway, they look legit. Their defense is sneaky good as well. The Colts defense, like people forget about Tre'Davious Ward, Super Bowl winner for the Chiefs, that like he's very solid for them.
He's on the 49ers too.
Yep, 49ers for a bit, and really solid for them. Their defensive front, they still have Buckner. They have Glover. Stewart is very good. And they've got the other lot, a different Latu, but they've got a Latu on there.
He's the one from UCLA. He was like the highly touted UCLA one, right?
Yeah.
At the end.
And so, they have a sneaky good sneaky good team.
Gonna adjust that in the future pick'ems, I think, is Indy is good. Book it.
Yeah. But see, we're chasing Alex. Now we're chasing
shadows. We're chasing shadows again?
We're chasing shadows. Now, do we stay the course? You know what I mean? Maybe we're just a couple of chickens chasing our tails.
No. This is like learning. This is like the adaptive computer learning, getting more information. Okay. We're learning and adapting. We're not.
This is gonna be
collecting information. We're collecting information. Blah, 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 just gobbling it up. Gobbling it up. Right? We're not chickens, Jake. We're not in the coop.
Yeah, no. We're machines.
AI.
We're lifeless, soulless machines.
That's right. For fantasy. And now, you know who's looked lifeless, Jake? Baltimore.
The Baltimore. Now, they are both of these teams are two teams that are
what
just
teams,
stuck
Jake?
in the
What teams,
both
Jake?
Stuck in the mud.
What teams?
Like both of them felt like they were going to be in the mix for the Super Bowl. Well, I feel like
it's Houston and Baltimore. Houston and Baltimore.
I think both of them, were preseason. They've got really good quarterback play. Everyone really likes the QB. They have good pass rush, complete team, good defense. And both of them came out with just terrible records. I mean, encouraging for Houston, but Baltimore looks really bad. I think they just have compounding injuries as well, but
let me look this up here because I was on the Texans bandwagon thinking this would be a bounce back year. Now because I have their defense. I thought I'm really high on their defense.
Yep.
Obviously their offensive lines is due to garbage, but their defense is quite good, and they are ranked 6th, and they've played the Rams, the Buccaneers, Jacksonville, Tennessee, and then this Baltimore game. So the Rams and the Bucs, I feel like that's impressive that they've held everybody below 20 points is the high water mark against Tampa Bay. So that seems pretty impressive to me. Now, Tennessee doesn't really rock the boat for me. Jacksonville, actually, it's kind of this is what I wanted. We talked about this going into the year. I wanted Jacksonville to be good fantasy-wise too. Like, want those players to be good. I want this team to be good. I think Lawrence has been in the league long enough. They finally have this coach. And so I think that Jacksonville win is also another more impressive than it was last year. Jacksonville's a better team. this year.
I think Jacksonville and the Colts, that division is the biggest surprise of the NFL season so far. We'll get to it a little bit, but Houston really good, and I think they've got a bye this week now, and they'll kind of rest up. And I think it'll be. I think they'll. You're right. I think they'll have an easier schedule going forward, and we'll see how it goes. But both those teams, I expect to bounce back. Tampa Bay, again, they're just always in shootouts. It feels like.
Yeah, so
Against Seattle.
They beat Seattle 38-35. It looks like there, and I didn't think it would be quite like this. We both got Tampa Bay, and it was 3.5, and they only won by 3, so we actually covered there. Which, is that right? Is that how that works?
So we both had Tampa Bay, and it was 4 points. Yeah.
Oh,
well, it would have been. Seattle was favored, it looks like, by 3.5. Interestingly.
Oh, Seattle was. Okay, that's why we won. Right.
Yeah.
But that one, I wouldn't have guessed that. I think going into it, I thought, because I think Tampa Bay had just played. I think was it Philly? Was it Philly the previous week? Was that game? But
yeah, I think so.
I don't know. They didn't look. I just thought Seattle's defense was like on par or better than the Eagles. So I didn't think they'd score 38. Basically,
yeah,
is what I'm getting to. So that's an impressive score for these two teams.
And Tampa Bay's banged up. I mean, Godwin is out again this coming week now.
I know.
They tried to rush him back, it seems like. And Mike Evans is out. It just seems like they can't get healthy. But they still keep winning though.
Yeah.
So they're going to be dangerous. They're going to be really good. Baker looks really legit. Yeah, that was another guy. I think we talked about this where it's like people were like, he's due for regression. He had a crazy year. And it's like, or,
he's just good.
Really good.
Yeah.
And maybe he's just good. That's frustrating. Then it was Tennessee, Arizona. Tennessee gets this crazy win. Arizona blows this game. I don't know if you saw this at all.
This felt like how the Phillies game felt. It wasn't in the playoffs. But you're looking at your team going, how dumb are we? How dumb are we? Because DeMarco, how do you say his last name? DeMarcado, maybe?
Yeah, I think, yeah. Yep.
That's the big play we're going to talk about, right? That's where he fumbled on the 1-yard line. Deshaun Jacksoned it. Did you see what happened with the coach? So Gannon comes in there, punches him. Yeah. That's right. And gives him
in the chest,
which... That's not how you handle that situation. That's not how you build up your players.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on I didn't hear anything from DeMarcado. If it's something where those guys are constantly going back and forth, and they're doing it, and it's something that they do or whatever, then okay. But just from the outside with no kind of context, it looked really bad. And if it is something where DeMarcado was just yo, what the fuck? Then it looks even worse.
Did you see what happened? He got fined. Jonathan Gannon got fined, not by the NFL, by the team, the Bidwells. And so shout out to the fantasy footballers. They are Arizona fans. And so they had some insight, which was funny. So I kind of reiterate it, which was the Bidwells are very cheap. They're very cheap ownership. And they've already been really frustrated with Jonathan Gannon. And they're like, perfect, way to get some of his contract back. Let's fine him. Let's fine him like $100K or whatever it was for that incident.
My God.
Which is hilarious.
Yeah.
But Arizona, man, they're just they're
7.5 point favorites, and they lose.
When's the last time you saw 8 Mile? What's the name of the guy that shoots himself in the foot? Or in his penis, I think.
Sure. Yeah, I know.
Rabbit,
I know what you're talking about. But
guy. Anyway, that's the Arizona Cardinals. They're in a battle rap and they're just shooting themselves right in the dick by accident.
I think that was Plaxico Burress is who you're
Yes, nicely done. Nicely done. Nicely done.
There you go.
And then the next one was Washington stomping out the Chargers 27-10. This is me picking. I picked the Chargers. This is more wishful thinking, and I
Well,
think
they were
the offense.
favorites.
I think the offensive line is more banged up than I thought, or is more
Yeah.
affecting the team than I thought.
Yeah. And Alex, you know what this is setting up for? Offensive line banged up. They can't run the ball. Obviously, Hampton goes down. Who has to carry the team?
No, he's due to paper. He's
Herbert.
never going to be the MVP. He's never. It was the MVP vote that we talked about over the summer. He's never going to do it. He's a nobody. He never was. Empty calorie quarterback. Book it tonight.
I love him. I love him. He's going to be. I mean, he's got.
Short it?
Is it his wife or his girlfriend? Is it's similar Josh Allen vibe to me. That's all I'm seeing.
He's not a winner. He's not a winner, Jake.
Well, he's
not a winner.
Yeah. The offensive line's banged up, so that'll.
When does Joe Alt come back? That's what I'm worried about for the Chargers. When does Joe Alt, the offensive tackle, come back? You said the offensive line's beat up. That's what I'm waiting for this team. That would really be a boon for them.
That was, what was that, 2 weeks ago, and then they lose Hampton this week. Slater's gone for the year.
Yeah.
Because that looked like the strength for them, is that offensive line. Now it looks like kind of a weakness. Hopefully they get all back. Detroit just taking care of business here. They were 10.5-point favorites, and they delivered on that. Since he looks real bad, they signed Joe Burrow. Not Joe Burrow. They signed Joe Flacco, the other Joe.
Yeah, the other Joe.
This
is what I wish the Eagles would do. There's a bad team lined up in front of them, and they put up 37 and don't even make it a question, and then allow the other team to get garbage fantasy points. Everybody leaves happy on the fantasy thing, except for maybe Jameson Williams, which gets you cut and picked up.
He's due. He's so due.
He's so due, dude. He's due.
He's so due.
Do the due. I feel good about that league. I'm feeling better. Yeah. Obviously, Marion Hampton goes down, but
I honestly, the craziest thing, I'm like 1-4. I feel great about my team. I'm about to get Rashee Rice back, dude. Rashee Rice, Addison, Saquon. I mean Herbert. I love Herbert. I think
this is where it all stems from. This is where it all stems from now.
I think the team's very solid. Anyway, Buffalo loses to New England. They were a big favorite. Now, what do you think is worse? Do you think this Buffalo loss, again, 7.5-point favorites, or the Arizona 7.5? Which one do you think is a worse loss?
I'll tell you what. Buffalo losing to a divisional game. That's a divisional game. That one seems like it stings a little bit more. The way Arizona lost is pretty damning on themselves. It's like we hurt ourselves, whereas Buffalo, you're like, oh no, we lost and we tried really hard. We didn't beat ourselves. I don't really remember this game as well. Oh, you know what this was? This was Stephon Diggs' revenge game.
Yes, revenge game.
This was, I saw a clip of him before the game looking like the best type of sociopath that you want to look like your fantasy player to look like before game. He's no helmet on. Everybody's facing the field. He's facing the crowd and praying and flexing, like really flexing. And you knew then that he was going to get 100 plus and 9 catches or whatever he had. He wanted Buffalo to know.
He made some great catches. There's a classic New England win, back like a vintage New England win, where it's like the 23-20. It's close. They scrape by.
Yeah,
they just make it happen. How do you feel about Drake May? Are you a big Drake May?
Well, speaking of that same league, I picked him up, excited about it, but then I want more. I have Jordan Love. I played him, and he didn't have a good week. That was the only buy that I had for Jordan Love, right? So that's why I had him for the 1 week. What I like about him fantasy-wise is he runs around a bit. He runs around, he'll scramble. He'll get you 4 or 5 rushes for like 30, 40 yards, maybe a couple first downs, and maybe he runs in for a touchdown, so it's a rushing touchdown. And then on top of that, like maybe 200, 250 yards. I think he was ranked when I picked him up like 3rd quarterback or something through 4 weeks. So when I picked him up,
I had him for a week. And I had the Carousel, landed
yep.
on Herbert, but I do like him a lot. I think you're right. I wasn't sure because New England's offense is always kind of whatever, like
Mm-hmm.
just philosophically, it's still McDaniel, and but having said that, they've never had a quarterback that runs really. So
Right.
it's a really interesting little mix. Now, what I am trying to navigate with New England is they continue to just do this running back by committee, and I've got
Yeah.
Henderson in like 2 leagues.
Yeah.
I've got Stevenson in like 2 leagues. I don't know who to start.
Yeah. How could
And
you?
honestly, I'm praying for just one of them to go down so the other one just eats just
Yeah.
purely for fantasy. But they did have Antonio Gibson go down for the year.
That's right.
So
That could be
Henderson
Steve. Yeah, Henderson stock
could get
rising
some
for that.
catches.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that could be some good stuff there. Another note there, but the big game too, Kansas City, Jacksonville, another big upset. Jacksonville looks really legit. They look really, really legit.
I watched this one in the villa at you with Dad and Dar. I am getting ready to fly out from the wedding. We're in Temecula, California. We're in the nice villas from your, and we had just eaten a lot of pizza. I ate like really nice pizza. I think Lisa even recommended the place. Like a
Oh, the goat and vine.
amazing. I loved the goat and vine. That's exactly what it was.
Awesome.
And
We've
we got
gone almost every time we've gone to Temecula. That's our place.
Bacon prosciutto, I think, was the pizza that I
Oh
couldn't
yeah,
get out of my mouth. It was
yeah,
amazing. I was stuffed
yeah,
my belly with
yeah.
bacon prosciutto pizza and the
Yep.
burnt crust on the bottom, but it's still chewy and it's
Yeah,
perfect. They make the
yeah.
dough that morning, it said. I am
Oh yeah.
filled up on that and I'm waiting for my Uber. I scheduled my Uber for the airport for my red eye and I watched this game. I watched Kansas City and Jacksonville and like
On
Jacksonville.
your phone? What'd you watch it on?
No, in the villa, like in the
Oh,
room.
yep.
After we got home, I was just stuffed and just needed to like, get horizontal and lay down. And so I watched like the first half and like the third quarter ish in the room, and I'm like, Jacksonville's fun. They're like fun to watch,
Yep.
and I have Thornton, so I'm thinking for Kansas City. You never know when Thornton's going to get it. Worthy is paper mache. He is so fast. He's like Sonic the Hedgehog, but he just gets hit even by his own teammate or by anybody, and he's just a
It just gets
glass
blown
cannon.
up. Yeah.
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 So you're like, you never know how long that's going to last. So those are a couple keys watching this game. And then I get to the airport. It's still your weekend, so I'm allowed to have a beer in the airport
Sure.
and that counts. And I have this big IPA, this big IPA. It's my last one for the weekend. I'm just enjoying it, and I'm watching the end of that game. Did you see Trevor Lawrence
Yeah.
stumble,
Yep.
gets up,
The highlight of the
stumbles,
game. Yep.
and then I'm in the airport, and people at this airport bar are like, what? Like non-football, they don't care about football at all, but they even were like, what is that? And they kept showing it on ESPN afterwards
Yep.
too. They do the post game, and he's like got this dumb smile, like I panicked, and then I got up and saw no one around me, and I ran in for the win, baby. like what a game, Trevor. That was a
uh,
fun game to watch.
it's funny. There was some sideline footage of like the teammates where like he falls down and there's teammates that just go, "What the f-" they
yeah,
just
yeah,
throw their hands up and they go, "What the?" And then they're like, "Oh, oh,"
yeah, dude.
and they like freak out. And but he's kind of like he's got a little Carson Wentz in him. It's like he's
Oh
got all
yeah,
the
that's a
ability
good
in the
one.
world,
Yeah.
but he just is. There's like a clunkiness and just decision making that just isn't there all the time. But yeah, I don't know. It seems like Jacksonville's defense. I mean, Travis Hunter had some really fun plays. Like he's on offense, he's on defense. He makes a jumping catch
That
over
catch.
two people.
That one catch
Yeah,
alone is all I really remember from his night. I
yeah,
know he had like four
yeah,
catches maybe, for like 40, or that's kind of been his MO, is like 4 catches for like 40 or 4 for like 60, kind of like in that range. But then on defense, he made a couple like trail plays, like stuff that Keely Ringo was not doing, like keeping up with the receiver on the hip back pocket on a trail over a cross and like batting it over top. Like,
that's the ones
that Keely's getting lost on, and he's just hip pocket right there. Like, he looks good.
I think it'll get lost how good of a season he's had because he plays both ways. And it's not like he's like, for any player, you're so used to them playing all of the snaps of that, side of the ball. But for him, like if you combined, like it's really tough because there's not a lot of stats for DBs either as well. So you add that together with like a good coverage season with like some highlight catches and stuff, I think he'll end up with a pretty good season, but it won't look that way or feel that way.
Jake,
it'll be interesting.
This is you in high school. This is you in high school football. You played you played every which way. You played every which way. Also, this was something that got cut from the speech, was you won unsung hero, right? You won unsung hero, which is an award about, hey, you know what? We should have been praising you more this whole time. You've been doing a lot for us, and we should have been praising you more, which is like Travis Hunter here. And then also, I was going to do in the speech, I was going to bring up Lisa Sings Your Praises was going to be the tie-in there.
I love it.
That was one of the things that got cut to the. I'm jumping ahead, but it reminded me because you were the unsung hero. You were playing offense, defense, and special teams, and I feel like you don't get the credit you deserve because you're like basically a backup for like 8 different people. Like 8 different people. Like, he can be a backup for, and like the health of your roster. Like, if I'm like a GM, I'm so happy to have Travis Hunter, because if we need him this week to be this thing, he can be. If not, he can also do this. He could probably punt return too. He could probably punt return and kick return if they need him to, if they get an injury there. That goes, I feel like, way under the radar too, with that flexibility, in the depth chart.
And it seems like they finally have that. I mean, that big play we didn't even talk about, but was it Devin Lloyd, the linebacker, on the pick six?
Oh, he rumbled, huh? That was
like a Harrison in the Super Bowl kind of play, where it's just this fumbling linebacker with a fast receiver chasing him, and he almost, I thought he might have got it punched out because he did not see that guy.
And he didn't.
But it was a weak punch, and the guy had no gas left to try and get it. And so I just think that the defense, they had, was it Trayvon Walker, the Georgia edge rusher?
Trayvon? Was it Trayvon or Trayvon Walker, maybe?
And then, Hines Allen might be one of the most underrated players in the league as well.
Yeah, he changed his name. He was Josh Allen, and he went to hyphenated Hines Allen, so people lost him.
That's a tough move. And then, Lloyd is great in the middle there. I think they have a couple good unsung heroes as well. But their defense is like, they've been putting it together for a few years now, and it finally seemed like it had some like teeth to it. And it's funny because when they brought in Duval, they brought in Cohen,
the head coach.
When they brought in Cohen, everyone's like, oh, the offense is going to be amazing. But it seems like the defense is actually more of the thing that is picking up the team and like making plays, doing fun things. I also want to mention this week after this game, they ended up trading. Did you see this? The corners? They traded Tyson Campbell, their outside corner, for Greg Newsome, the corner on the Browns.
On the Browns? Why?
Yeah.
Huh.
And there was some other draft compensation where it's like they threw back a 6th and a 5th and something like that.
Who got like we're getting the better player end of it? You know what I mean? Like,
it felt negligible, but it felt like Newsome maybe slightly. But I think, honestly, it feels like they do different things schematically, and we should change based on that, is what it felt like.
Right,
Who
right,
knows?
right.
It could have been an attitude thing as well, where it's like one guy is just like, maybe they just don't want to deal with him. Oh, you don't want to deal with your guy? I don't want to deal with my guy.
Right, right. Yeah, because you don't. It would be personality because it's like they are like similar caliber of the same position.
Yeah.
So you don't see
Same
that
position,
often. Yeah.
similar age, similar like profile where they were like first rounders. They flashed, but they also haven't been like the number one guy we thought he was going to be. So interesting. That just happened, and that'll be a shakeup for both two good defenses, I think.
Wow.
That it's
Jake Schefter coming in. Jake Schefter coming in hot.
Yeah, really, really fun. But speaking of news too, I think, are we pretty good on the football? You want to get into the wedding here before we close it out and just?
I think so. Yeah, that's why I was pulling this up. I'm like, I wanted to see. You had some fun things here for the wedding. I mean, it's like, where do we start with the wedding? Obviously, I mean, we should tell for the listeners
Alex,
too.
Can I just get? We haven't talked since the wedding. I just want to. We took so long planning and getting everything ready. I would love to hear like, what did you think of everything, and like, did you have any favorite moments, or like, what to you was like? And by the way, before you even answer, your speech was incredible. Alex, you were off book. I thought for sure
I had to be off book.
Oh,
had to be.
It was. I was ready, and there was a couple times when I was like, he's bringing back like this piano story, and I was like, oh, at the end I'm like, oh, that's why he did it. And like,
I did one callback. Yeah.
Oh, it was beautiful. Yeah. Oh my gosh. And there was it's so funny too with, you hear Spicer and Dad up there.
I know.
And the public speaking and just not having that. And then to have you up there, and it was such a clear voice. It was, and obviously I have to mention that the immediate joke was just chef's kiss. Just chef's kiss.
Do you want to tell it for the podcast? Do you want to tell it?
Yeah. So, I mean, over the course of our entire lives, I have been saying, whenever anyone asks, oh, you're twins, who's older? I without hesitation, I always say I'm 2 minutes older, best 2 minutes of my life. And
I've heard that my entire life.
Yeah. And so Alex starts the speech off with that, mentioning that, and then saying, well, I'm very excited, Jake, because now after tonight, it'll be the second best 2 minutes of your life. It'll be the new, like that, the wording.
Basically, yeah. So I mentioned, best 2 minutes of his life, and but that's why I'm happy tonight's happening, because tonight after reception with Lisa, he'll have the next best 2 minutes of his life. And
Jared.
Well, then I said, do we have takers for over or under 2 minutes? Yeah. And so I look into the big crowd to see if people. Jared, our cousin, who we love him to death, he's a degenerate gambler. Big thumbs down on taking the under for 2 minutes. And he was tall too, so he was like the one person I really saw there.
Yeah,
he stuck out to me.
It's so on brand. It's so perfect. It's the perfect revenge for this joke that I've been saying. It's chef's kiss. It was funny. It hit. It delivered well.
You got to start with one of your good jokes, right? You got to start with one of the good jokes. Then they know you're capable of it, and then you're playing. You're playing. Am I gonna get funny, or am I gonna be really sentimental? You don't know where I'm going.
Yeah. But man, no, it was sharp. It was sharp too. It like, you didn't linger as much. We might even be lingering more on talking about it than you did at the speech. It felt like, the whole thing was sharp.
I was so excited that so JP told me, he goes, you hit the over. The bet was where you're going to hit the 5 minutes. It was 5:17. So I hit 5:17, which I was very happy with.
Tight five.
I hit the tight 5. I hit the tight 5, baby. I didn't drone on.
5. And
I hit it.
It's a gentleman's 20 seconds over. You know what I mean?
Gentleman 17. I had to pause for laughs. You can't,
It was chef's kiss. It was absolutely perfect. No dead, no fat. No fat on that
Trimmed
speech.
it all. You know what it was is I was really pacing around in my room throughout the last couple months. I'd randomly do it in the shower or something, and every time it was like 10. It was like initially like 15 minutes, like 10 minutes, like long, much longer. And so the fact that I cut to 5, I was just very happy that I could get to it. And that was a little win for me. But felt great to be up there.
So anyway, I had to get that out of the way, but I am curious your thoughts. Would you have a favorite moment, or is there something?
Well, okay, first off, the venue was amazing.
I mean, there's the rehearsal, there's the wedding, there's the brunch stuff. The whole weekend, like what were your immediate thoughts? Was it what you thought it was going to be? Was it different?
Love the speakeasy. So we're in Temecula. This feels like Old Town Scottsdale, but kind of smaller version of it. So it's nice because it's a little homier and stuff. Because this is my first time in Temecula. So it was all a first impression. The speakeasy that you guys chose too felt like an LA bar we would go to. It felt like you guys. It felt like you guys, like an LA bar, because it's in between 2 other restaurants. It's like it's darker, dimmer, more intimate. People didn't feel weird walking around at other tables and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I have so many stories. We can talk about this briefly, but like people were looking, and for a lot of our friends and stuff from afar, from like Arizona and LA, they'd not met our dad or they hadn't seen him in a while. And he was really working the room, it was good for him, the size of that and the intimacy of that room, because he could work around to other tables. And I was at a table with Cassidy and Ken, and I saw Dad over there, and Ken like looks at me and he goes, "By the way, everything clicked into place when I saw your dad. It makes so much sense. I see you guys in your dad, like the mannerisms, the way he's talking to people." He goes, that all clicked into place. And then I should tell this story for the podcast here. Dad comes over.
I know the one.
You know the one? Okay. He comes over, and I'm at the table, and Cassidy is, I'll leave it at this. Cassidy's telling a personal story. It's like intimate details, and it's a very personal story. And then Dad comes in, really gregarious. "How we doing, guys? Like, how are you?" And it's like a sentimental low point of the story, like an emotional, turbulent time in the story. And I kind of translate to Dad what the story is about, and he goes, oh, okay. And he goes, "Well, if it makes you feel any better, my current wife, my ex-wife, and Jake's mother-in-law are all talking about my ex," which was Teresa, who we did not like. And that really broke the ice. And it was like, well, perfect. We'll enjoy this story that we're talking about. And then we caught him up to speed. It was perfect. It worked really well. And Dad was like really gracious about listening to it and everything. And so that was really fun. The rehearsal was really fun for that reason. And also the kind of the bar after was really fun. Amazing to have Tanner be the guy coming in with Jello shots at the next bar.
It was a little bit of a, like, I knew we had done the strip a couple times, and there was a couple places that seemed like they always kind of had a bit of a buzz. And I was like, we left the speakeasy, and I was like, there's one spot, I hope it's okay. But it was exactly what I wanted, which was
live
like
music,
outdoor live music. There's like a bar, like a big old bar, and everyone is just like rip roaring good time or whatever. And Tanner's just at home, immediately goes to the syringe Jello shots, which are
people.
very fun.
Chris, this is a funny little anecdote. I think you guys had left. Chris got there. Chris came in later.
You did tell me this, I think.
Oh, I did. Okay,
he's like, he goes around and he just goes, "Introduce me to everyone."
Yeah, exactly. A friend that knows nobody basically told me to introduce him to like 5 different friend groups that are all standing there. And I was already, prior to even seeing him, thinking about leaving, because I'm like, my voice is starting to get hoarse. I got to do the speech tomorrow, and it's a big day tomorrow. So that was fun. And I'll tell you what, it was great having Carlos be my DD. That was pretty great.
Oh, sure.
That was pretty clutch for me. So that was wonderful. That was a rehearsal. Day of, That was fun. Like the being in your room and everything. I don't know. There was a nice quietness to it. This wasn't like a. I felt like for your and I don't know if this is what you were going for, but or if you wanted, but it seemed like a much more laid back like beginning. It didn't feel like bachelor party continued like Frank did, where we were all getting trashed together. Like we were like Mr. Venus is like, he's feeling good and he's toking a little bit and like everybody's getting real loose. It wasn't like that. It was like couple drinks in hand, everybody's just kind of catching up and like chatting, watching football and stuff.
Very
so
chill.
it seemed way more laid back. Would be that and dude, heard so many people talk about how nice the venue was. Once they got into where all the food was, like all the barrels, the saxophone guy, that's another thing. Oh my goodness. So I'm skipping around a little bit, but that bounced in my head first was that saxophone guy that you guys hired to come into the reception.
Cocktail hour. He did cocktail hour and the grand entrance.
Guy. He crushed it. He's walking around with people. We literally in the Airbnb were watching his Instagram stories because it's of your wedding. He's just he had somebody, an assistant that filmed him.
He sent us all of them. Yeah, he sent us all of them.
They were awesome. They were so cool. And it's like I signed the marriage papers with you as a witness. So I was a little bit later to the cocktail. So I got to see stuff I didn't see previously. And that guy really set the tone, I feel like, for after the ceremony. And you know what?
I'm happy.
Well, sorry, I'm getting excited thinking about all this stuff. You during the ceremony, when the car goes off behind you. And it's at the exact time that you're saying the words are, I can't control everything in life that we're about to go through. This is your vows that you wrote. And you're saying, I can't control everything that's happening in life. And at that exact moment in the back parking lot, like next to where the altar is, like beneath the vineyard, you hear a car go by and it's playing a love song type music.
I can't remember. We'll have to get it from our videographer, but it was something like that. I did a little bit of, the old stand-up bit of like, it was a bit of improvising, but a little bit of just paraphrasing differently, just so that I could fit that in a little bit.
Well, Jake, you did such a good job. So what I was going to bring is, I remember that perfectly. I was going to bring that up. Is like, because the song went by, because it had a love song type of thing to it, you immediately say, I can't control everything. And then you immediately go, second prop, because there was already the first prop of we had a scroll and we did a scroll and got a little bit of a laugh there for your vows. But for that you go second prop. Even Dad thought that was planned. People really thought you planned that to have the car go by. So you played it off so smoothly that I think people just thought
on purpose.
People thought that was on purpose because it did stop immediately after you kind of said those words. And that, oh man, that was another thing. I'm getting too excited talking about it, but your guys' vows to each other were fucking beautiful. Like the two of you guys, just like they reflected each other really well. The integrity and the morals that you guys shared, that you see in one another. It was. I tried so hard not to cry. I'm so happy I didn't have to speak during that because I had a lump in my throat throughout that whole ceremony. And another thing I wanted to bring up about that was I watched Dad watch you. He looked like a little kid. He was so happy. I didn't have my phone. I was never going to take out my phone, but I wanted to take a picture of Dad watching you.
There are some good ones.
Photos. Yeah.
When he came up and him and Dor come down the aisle and take their seat or whatever, and then they both give me a hug, and Dad kissed me on the cheek. He's never done that.
Not since we were kids.
And there's a photo of it. There's a photo of it, like we're an Italian family. Just like It was really sweet. It was
Oh,
and there's a fun picture of like we hold our hands up, we did the thing, whatever, and you can see Dad just beaming, and then on the other side, like Mom also has her fans up, so like we held our hands up, and then she was like, you could see her in the background, just like.
uh-huh. Oh, it's
uh,
amazing. Now, the other thing I was
Fun.
going to say about the ceremony is I heard this comment from a couple different people is I was really going to lose. I was really close to crying, but I just kept looking. Eloise, the flower girl, she
Uh-huh.
kept, did you hear this? Like she kept pulling apart because you had made, or Lisa had made those flowers that were
Yeah.
not really wooden, but they were wooden, or they were kind of like,
They're made of wood. They're made of wood, and she dyed them. But they're
it looked amazing.
cut thin, and it felt, yeah, it was really interesting. But yeah, she's
So
peeling it apart.
Eloise is like pulling them apart for her mom, which is the maid of honor. Your now sister-in-law, or I guess my sister. Is it my sister-in-law? Is it my sister-in-law? I don't know. Um, her mom. It was her like bouquet. She looks down and goes, "Oh my gosh, Eloise, what did you do?" And so I think a lot of people would like be close to crying, and then they'd look at her, and she's just like pulling apart the the flowers. And so I think it's a little bit of levity for people to like see her um,
Nice.
up at the altar and stuff. So that was like a sweet part of it too, of the ceremony.
Yeah, they had some
Um,
fun pictures of them dancing, the little kiddos on the dance floor and everything. But
oh yeah.
yeah, that was really fun. The sax I was very excited about because we were going back and forth between band and a DJ.
Hmm.
And the DJ was basically, we eventually go to DJ because of just versatility of it and a little bit cheaper too. And but then he offered like, hey, we sometimes, I work with a couple of like instruments that kind of accompany, and I was like, oh, that's fucking awesome.
Hmm.
um and so he was really fun. There was some video of, I think it's the intro to Hillary Duff,
Yep.
Lizzie McGuire or something like
Yeah.
that.
He had
And
a bunch of cool songs like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
he was playing it on the sax, and then they were all singing it. And there's a good video of all of them. And then they were like, "Come to the photo booth,"
Yep.
and
Yep.
they're
Yep.
all
Yep.
pretending to do the sax, and he's still playing in the photo booth with them. And there's
That
a really
guy.
fun photo
Yeah, that guy was
of that.
great.
Yeah,
Um,
that was one of the surprises I was excited for. Um, the
so
other one
that
was the
was
Rice Krispies, Alex. The Rice Krispies. Do you remember the grad parties when
grad party season. Yeah.
yeah, grad party season? I said if they didn't have Rice Krispies, it wasn't a really good party.
I had the one with chocolate on top. So you
Nice.
said, and we can kind of get to this, or you asked me, and the floodgates are open because I haven't had anybody really talk to too much about it. I've really been recovering my sleep really, most of
Yeah,
the week here, but I
red
haven't
eye
really talked to.
after, right?
Yeah, it was brutal, sleep wise. But when we got after the ceremony, when we got to the reception, people were like, "Beautiful." The weather was perfect with the full moon, like lit up.
Oh,
It like
it
looked
was
like a
so lucky,
spotlight. It looked
and
like a
it wasn't.
spotlight on the whole venue. It looked great.
Yeah, we got so lucky with the fact that it was like high 80s, 90s like a week before, and then it
Hmm.
dropped to like low 80s, and then by the time the reception was going, like 70s, 60s or so, and it was great.
I sat
Um,
next to Kelly, who they live in Virginia. Kelly and Tyler and Kelly,
mhm.
and Smith, and she was like, what is the weather always like this?" And I was like, "Pretty. I mean, California for the most part is pretty consistent like this." She's like, "It is perfect right now. Like it's not humid. I think they're so used
Yeah,
to the humidity on the East Coast, and
yeah.
it's like you could wear whatever you wanted. Like if you wanted to have like your jacket on, you still could. If you could want to take it off, that's fine. You guys, yeah, must have just lucked out, I guess, for the weather, but like that was
So,
great too. Hmm.
oh, so lucky. That full moon was really cool. Some cool shots of that.
Hmm.
Um, Oh my gosh. Yeah. Just such a fun time. But yeah, the after party as well, down getting
Hmm.
the was such a fun time. I know we talked about a couple things, but I want to get in the burrito as well. So
Oh yeah.
So you kind of egged that on though, right?
Carlos and I, for the listener, we all were like brothers growing up. Me, Jake, and Carlos, and we did a lot of sleepovers. And one of the hallmarks of our sleepovers would be we do a little kitchen raid at the end of the night. We do a little kitchen raid. Remember those? So we get home. And Carlos is now sober. He'll smoke. He's California sober. He'll smoke, but not drink. So we get home. I think he smokes a little bit, and he's like, I'm a little hungry. Like we didn't stop. I was like, I don't want to stop for. This is rehearsal night too, so this isn't. And that's why I didn't want to be out too late because the wedding was the next day. So I'm like, let's just go home. I don't want to get like fast food or anything. But he had a leftover burrito from lunch. And he goes, oh, I have that burrito. I'll have the burrito. And it's half of it. And he's like, oh, it's cold. Oh, it's way too cold to eat. And we were looking around. We're like, there's no microwave. And we had just ironed our shirts. And so the iron and the ironing board are out. They're out. They're out. And I go, Carlos, the iron's right there, dude. That's basically, it's a flat iron, man. You just put your burrito.
It's a panini press.
Yeah. And I have a picture. I have a couple pictures of him with a burrito on the iron. Obviously, Madden's in the back. There's Madden in the back on the TV. And we're doing a quick franchise. And he's doing it side by side. He's rotating it like around on the iron. And then he scorches the top where the chicken is, and the cheese melts on the iron.
Oh no, that's the kiss of death. He's probably fine. He was probably fine with just the tortilla, but if you get the cheese,
and then he got on the chicken cheese, or he wanted that hot. He said it worked great. He said it got real hot, just right the temperature you want to be. So that was Burrito Gate. That was and that was all me. I egged it on a lot, and I was very excited.
I love that.
We were just a couple of boys having fun. Just a couple of boys having fun.
Oh, I had a couple other things I wanted to chat about. One of them was so a couple of the LA guys from our fantasy league. We've talked about quite a bit, of course, on this podcast. But Casey, he comes up to me, and I haven't seen him the rehearsal night. I saw him a little bit just in the ceremony. Cocktail hour. We were taking photos for most of it. We finally get down to cocktail hour. I see him. He gives me a big hug, and I just go, just very publicly, loud, out. Before, like, as we're seeing each other, I go, "Oh, Casey, so great to see you." As soon as we hug, I go, "So Brian Thomas, is he still in the bar? He's still in the bar? What are we?" And he just starts dying. The day of my wedding day, we're just talking Brian Thomas trades.
So Jake, where are you? Where are you that you're hugging?
So this is the cocktail hour. We just got married. I haven't seen anyone yet. Like the outside of the rehearsal dinner, and
first words
to him. And I did it purposefully where we're coming in. I'm like, Casey, so great to see you. Oh, buddy, come in. Brian Thomas, what do we think? Are we still?
As soon as you get in there for the hug.
Yeah, now, he lost it.
He's tall. He's tall. So that hug, are you looking up going, what about Brian Thomas?
Oh yeah. I'm getting up there and tiptoes trying to get into his ear. And he made some kind of Godfather reference. He's like, oh, well, I guess
I can't refuse
the wedding. Well, it's his daughter's wedding or something, but same difference. But
that's so funny. Did you get Brian Thomas? Did you get the trade done?
Yeah, it is. It's
in the works.
Could. He's still in the works. But yeah, I think that was a fun little thing. I thought that was perfect to bring up for the podcast because of
that fit it perfectly.
Yeah, but there's a couple other things, but I think we hit most of it. I think we're gonna have a short turnaround here with the next one. We can maybe dive into some other things if it comes up. But is there anything else? Do we miss anything, or I feel like we hit most of the stuff here?
Yeah, we talked about the speeches. We already got to that. Lost my golf foursome.
Oh yeah, I know. So a couple of the guys, Casey, my usual golf foursome. Now that you bring it up, they all went golfing with the three of them went golfing with Acor the morning of the wedding.
That's right.
And they had I see them and I immediately go, "You went without me?" And they were like, Casey was like, "I did terrible.
Yeah.
So they were fun. That was fun.
So Acor,
but
like I mentioned beginning, that's who I watched the games with the chicken coop and everything. And I go, I heard you stole Jake's foursome. I heard you. And he goes, no, I was just, I was asked last minute. I was the last option. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's funny.
Pretty fun. What were the other things? Oh, a couple other notes. Courtney mentioned this to me, but it's impossible. And I felt like it was true. It's like impossible to get drunk on your wedding. And maybe that's like, I reserve like the after party because you could definitely get hammered there. But like during everything going on, I felt like I was just buzzing around. I was just like buzzing around. I didn't have a chance to, one, be drinking a lot, but two, just like so much adrenaline of like, just everyone. And it's crazy because you're going from like a grandmother where you're like a sweet story of like when you were a baby. I look forward to this day. And then right after, like, do you remember when we were hammered in Mexico?
Yeah, right.
And I'm just going, I'm like, the emotional just ping ponging, and it's all adrenaline. And I lost my voice so easily because it's like, you're just chatting with everybody. It was such a great time. Oh, it was so, I don't know like how celebrities do it. Having like the attention nonstop and all of these rapid fire moments just pressed together, like it's just, everyone is just having a little chat here, chat there, constant attention or whatever. It's like, I felt like we were like, a celebrity for a day. I can't imagine just unprovoked at Whole Foods, just trying to live your life or whatever.
I got a bit of it. I think because I'm your twin brother and I know pretty much everybody there. Obviously not Lisa's side as much, but I felt like I got a taste of it.
First time. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I got a taste of it. Meeting Carl was amazing. That was great. Carl.
Yeah. Lisa's dad.
Carl and LB. LB is the sweetest. Your now mother-in-law. The sweetest woman.
She did some pottery as well. I don't know if you saw, there was I can't remember everything, but it was the envelopes went into it and it was like, it looked like brick. I
wish I knew this. I could have thrown that compliment her way. I wish I knew.
Yeah. Also, it looks like, did you do one of the playing cards? You signed a playing card?
Yeah. Should I not have?
No, it was perfect. But Lisa and I were looking at them after. I'd love for you to snoop around because I have to try and figure out who it was. Somebody just did a bunch of like poker related, like murder mystery references where it was like on one of the cards, it said, "Watch your back." And then two references to like poker, like this guy that died gambling, and then something else. And I was like, did we just get a threat on our like wedding day? Like, so I have to figure out who wrote it. And if they just like saw the card and the number and were like, oh, these references flooding back.
My first guess is Chris.
That was
my first guess. That was my first guess. Too. Is he thought that'd be really funny. And he's writing stuff. He thought it was some esoteric reference that you would get that you don't get. He's like, from that show that I watched, years ago. That's my. If I were to start my sleuthing around, I'd start right there.
He was also my first, but I think he might have had another card. So unless he did two, but
was there anyone at the wedding that you hate or that hated you?
I guess. The saxophone player. I don't know.
No. You paid him good money. You paid him good money.
Good money. Yeah. What was the last? The last thing I have that we didn't get to is the pie. We had like 7 different pies. I didn't have any.
I only had the apple. I had the same. That's my biggest regret from your wedding is I didn't get to try the key lime pie or the maple. I just was like you said. I was buzzing around myself, like, okay, I can do cigars now with the guys, and I'll do some cigars for a little bit, and then I'm gonna jump around. I talked to Uncle Ray and tried to reconcile things for a little bit. That was really honestly pretty great. Honestly, went pretty as good as you can imagine. I felt pretty good about it. Felt like okay, I'm planting some good seeds here. But yeah, dude, I ran out of time for pie. The same way you did.
The cigars too. I had like a puff, maybe. That was it. I think someone handed me theirs, and that was it. But
I did the thing that Dad hated most is I had half a cigar and then I put the rest in the ashtray. But I was like, I gotta say hi to other people. I gotta get out of here.
Yeah,
there's a picture.
You got to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, it was such a fun
great
time.
wedding, brother. It was an amazing time. The villas too, by the way. I know I'm kind of keeping us and I'm rambling, but dude, the villas are amazing. I loved seeing you and working out in the morning. We just like see each other working out, and that was fun.
Pool. We did the pool was a blast. The hot air balloons.
Oh my gosh! I actually
saw some, right?
I missed them. I saw pictures. I saw so many pictures. Dad was so excited to see them. I actually didn't see any in person, but I saw so many pictures. I know. I feel like I don't know what I was doing, but
it was usually the mornings. And I saw them each morning on that back little patio that I had there. I had coffee and I watched. It was really cool.
See, I had one of the inside ones, so I didn't have a view of that. I did the same thing where I woke up earlier than I thought I would, so I was like, I need coffee. Out on that little veranda thing or that little like back patio, mine just had a bunch of high hedges for privacy, but there were really tall trees. And I just listened to the birds, and there were so many birds going from tall tree to tall tree. That was a real moment. I think I took a picture on my phone. I'm like, I just want to remember this because this is like a lovely little morning in between. It's like that, like the nice calmness before all of it. It was so nice walking around the hotel and just bumping into people, saying hi, breakfast, that whole feeling. Dad was so excited to be like he was like really sad it was over. He's like, I love bumping into people like in the morning and walking around the whole hotel and the villa. He goes, I just love seeing people at breakfast and then lunch and then for the next thing. And people are Old Town. We're walking around and like, there's a lot of different stuff, but I feel like I'm rambling. We're rambling. We kind of want to wrap this one up, but I could talk. We'll talk later. We'll talk later.
Maybe that's how we end
later.
We'll talk later. Episode. That's going yard, and we'll talk later.
We'll talk later. We'll see ya.
Beautiful.
Play us out.